Hey there, this is Mr. Miller. We're going to go over the step number 3 or part number 3 for the introduction to Google Sheets. In our previous examples in part 1 and part 2, we looked at entering data. We looked at the different columns, and we also looked at rows. Each individual cell and how you have some type of data in those cells, whether it's numbers or letters or a combination. If I click on that one, it's going to show whatever is in there up here in the formula bar. In part 2, we looked at changing the font styles. We looked at changing the font sizes. We also looked at changing the text colors and our fill color. We did that for a number of different things. The final thing that we looked at was looking at borders, and we looked at doing border color and style and then applying it to either all borders or any part of the selected item. So if I wanted my advisory and lunch right here, I could do a border. I change it to this bright fuchsia, and I want it to be double line right there. I'll just do thick. And I want it all borders right there. I click the all borders, and it changes everything around this one to that fuchsia border. So the outside of it and the inside of it. If I just wanted to do something on the inside, I could select a bunch there, borders, change it to yellow, and if I just want the insides, so that's just going to do all the lines here, I click on the inside, and it just changes those lines there. It does not change the outside. So that's a review of part 1 and part 2. Another one. You can also two-finger click on the outside on the numbers or the letters at the top and insert a row above or below that current row that you've selected. You can also do the same thing up here, insert a column to the left or to the right. You can delete them. We'll work on some of these other things later, but those are the main parts right there. And if you're wondering why it looks like this, we also played around with the alignment and the text wrapping and the text rotation. So those are the different things we did there. So now to look at something that we did not talk about in part 2 is the format painter. And you can see I have get up here, and I have get up across the top, and over here on the right hand side at Saturday. So if I click on that one, we have a neat tool on this app called the Format Painter. It's right up here next to the 100% zoom. If I click on Format Painter one time, you'll see it turns color. That lets me know that I've selected this. What this is copying is not the text. It's copying the color, the font style, the font size, the fill color, and the border. So it's going to apply. I hit this. It's basically like a format copier. And if I click up here on this cell, it's going to automatically change that cell to look just like this one. It doesn't have the same height, but it has the same style of colors, bold, font, and size. If I click on that cell and I double click, nope. That works in Microsoft or in Google Docs. So if I click here, I hit Format Painter and turn it on, I can actually click and drag across, and it will do all of those the same. I click on it again and do my get up over here. But you notice that I selected across. I already had those selected, so I have to undo, Command Z, or press this back arrow, edit, undo. So I select one of them, Format Painter, get up. It changes it that way. I can do the same thing for outside. I click on here, I hit Format Painter, I just paint over top. I paint over this way. Oh, I forgot to select it again. There we go. Click on it. Work outside. Click on one. Format Painter. There we go. So I can do that for each of those. Anything that I want to keep the format without having to select multiple things, I can do that all at once. So that's how you use the Format Painter. Somebody asked me, isn't there an easier way to do this, Mr. Miller? And I said, of course there is. There's always an easier way. But I want you to practice doing the font with the sizing, the bold, italic, colors, borders, all that kind of stuff. There is a very neat feature of Google Sheets called the theme. If I click on Format and Theme, you'll notice that right here, there are a lot of different things that have colors and borders and all this stuff. If I click on it, it's going to change the outside edge. It leaves everything else the same. I can click back up here. So everything on the inside has changed a little bit. I can adjust those themes, but what I want to do is I don't want to have those themes applied to this currently, so I want to make sure that I am not doing themes, that everything that I have on here is whatever. Let me do one redo. There it is. I don't want to have any themes applied. I want you to be able to adjust these as a customized theme for your project here. And so in the future, we will use some of these standard style preset formatted themes for our project. But for right now, we're going to keep it normal so it looks like this. So when you get it all done, you have this project fully completed. You're going to go over here underneath Share. You're not sharing this document with me. Underneath Share, there's a little arrow. Looks like this. If I click on it, it's going to collapse everything across the top. It just shows me more of what we're looking at here. What I want to see for your project is I would like to see the header row here, your times sequentially here on the left-hand side, the data that you've filled in inside of here. Every box should have something filled in. And then also, it should have your information up here at the top. Whether it says your name or not, that's there. But I want to have this thing show. I want to have this thing show your data across the top. So when you're doing your screenshot, you're going to do a Command-Shift-3. You'll see that it takes a picture. Your picture should look like this, where it has everything on this document right there. Okay? If you have any questions while you're working on this part 3 of the project, then you can send me a message. After you get the screenshot taken, you should be able to find an assignment here inside the Introduction to Google Sheets folder. There should be video part 1, part 2, part 3, and then the assignment should be in here as well. So when you see that, you can turn this screenshot in and you're good for this project, and we'll start the next one probably the day after. If you have any questions, please let me know.